intermission of Kill Team. We've come back with a full-blooded game of 40k now. Full armies, 1750 points each. So plenty of new things that are going to happen to do. We've got a new codex. The Space Wolves are out for the first time with their new tome. And the new FAQ, big FAQ 2, is in effect this game. So new things to look out for, which is the command point business, where you only get one back per battle round. Which wouldn't really affect us anyway, because we weren't really farming anything like that anyway, but something to look out for. And the reserves not coming in till turn 2 at the maximum, so again probably won't affect us too much, but there were occasions where they might have came down turn 1, so that will be in effect, so keep that in mind. And of course that new stratagem, which is pretty good, 2 command points for the first battle round. You can be classed as in cover if you are the one with the second turn. So plenty of new things on display there. So to just keep it simple, we've gone for the first mission out of Maelstrom of War. It's Cleanse and Capture. So it's a Maelstrom of War game, 6 objectives down, and you get 3 tactical orders on each turn to try and fulfill. Take a look at where the objectives are. We've got one here just in front of the spawn, one just in front of Murder Fang. We've got one directly in the middle of the board, or almost directly in the middle. We've got one just behind that pillar. We've got one up top, and then the last one is just down there. So there's plenty of structures that seem to be the priorities here. So we've got the objectives located near buildings and boxes. So this is the important ground that these bitter rivals are going to have to take from each other. This is a 1750 warband of Thousand Suns led by Ahriman. So he's one of the HQs. He will be the Warlord. So he's got an invulnerable 3 save for his Warlord trait. We've got his second in command, an Exalted Sorcerer. He's got a plasma pistol. Of course he's riding a disc. We've got 3 troops here, so we've got 10-man unit of rubrics, 10-man unit of rubrics, so assault, Soul Reaper cannons in both, the icons of flame in both, and each sorcerer up their sleeve have a plasma pistol, so it's behind the cape somewhere. Elite's choice, the 3rd troops is a big unit of 20 Zangors with the musician in there also. Scarab Occult Terminators, Hellfire Rack, Soul Reaper cannon. All of them have the combi bolters. 2 spawn, separate units, so individual ones there. Then we've got a Land Raider. Yep, so we've got a patrol detachment here as well. We've got a Change Caster. He's got the staff, and we've got a unit of Pink Horrors here as well. Right, we'll have a whip around for static powers. We've got Ahriman. He's got Temporal Manipulation, Prescience, and Diabolic Strength. His Exalted Friend has Warp Time and Infernal Gaze. He's also got a relic for the Helm of the Third Eye, which means on a 5+, when the opponent uses a stratagem, we can gain a command point. But of course, with the new FAQ in effect, we're only able to generate a maximum of 1 per battle round. For the Aspiring Sorcerers, he's got Zinch's Firestorm. He looks more aggressive with his hands stretched out. The one with the defensive staff, he's going to have Glamour of Zinch, which is a -1 to be hit. And the Scarab Occult Terminator Sorcerer, he's going to have Weaver of Fates, gives them +1 to the invulnerable save if they want it.
I have 1750 points of Space Wolves. It's the Drake Slayers, great company, led by Crom Dragon Gaze, and his Chief Lieutenant, the Wolf Guard Battle Leader. On the wolf there, he's got a Thunder Hammer and a Storm Shield. From left to right, we've got a Great Hunter Squad in the Rhino. 2 plasma guns, I think, yeah, 2 plasma guns and a power axe there. Next one is in the Land Raider behind you, and they have a couple of melter guns, power sword, and the next one is in a Rhino, and they have a couple of plasma guns in there and an axe, similar build to the squad. And we have a squad of Blood Claws led by Wolfguard Terminator with a hammer, Storm Shield. And at the back we have Murder Fang, and down the front here we've got some scouts. They've got the well, it's 4 sniper rifles and a missile launcher, and the Land Raider, as you can see, is a Crusader.
Redeemer.
Redeemer, yeah. It's got the flintstone cannons, and the assault cannon, and the melter on the top there, multi-melter.
Okay, so just before I forget, the battle leader's got the Wolfenstone. It's going to give him an extra 1 attack in any model within 3 of them. And there's conversations being had about why the Land Raider is taken. Basically, the Storm Wolf is clearly the better option, but we just like seeing the Land Raider. It's got to get a game sometime, so this is the game it's going to get a game in this game. Space Wolves finished deploying first. They're the ones with the smaller unit count, so they'll have that +1 to the dice roll to see who goes first. Very crucial. So we've got Grey Hunters in this Rhino, Grey Hunters in this Rhino. We've got the Wolf Scouts up top, a Crom and another Grey Hunter squad in the Land Raider, and then we've got the Wolf Guard battle leader just by himself. He's going to be a one-man army, but he does have Murder Fang on his left, on his right, sorry. And not only that, the Space Wolves have paid 1 command point to put the unit of Blood Claws with the Terminator into Cunning of the Wolf. So it's basically you can come on from any board edge, and with the new FAQ it's going to start at turn 2. So obviously you have to be 6 inches away from the board edge, 9 inches away from enemy units, just as normal. Okay, and the Thousand Suns did something similar, fired off 2 command points at the start of the game to make the heavy bolters on the Land Raider Inferno bolts, so they're now AP -2, and we even did it to the Humble Storm Bolter because it does matter in the end. So 2 command points seems steep, but it hopefully will come to pass. That'll be a good idea. So 2 command points to do that, so both bolt weapons at AP -2 now. So for deployment we've got a spawn underneath the gantries here. On the gantries we've got the 10-man Rubiks, we've got the 2 headquarters here, we've got the Changecaster, the Pink Horrors, we've got a unit of Rubriks in the Land Raider, we've got the 20 Zangors just out in the middle of the table, and we've got another spawn on this wing looking after this objective. So he's got his work cut out for him. He's staring down Murder Fang and that battle leader ready to spring out. And we do have the Scarab Occult Terminators. They're ready to come in from Deep Strike. Right, ready to roll now. So see who goes first. Space Wolves have +1 to the dice roll. So the Thousand Suns get 3, Space Wolves get 3. So Space Wolves will go first. Can the Thousand Suns steal the initiative on a 6? Close, 5, not enough. So Space Wolves get the first turn. Turn 1 for the Vilka Fenriga, off the go, attacking straight away, which you would expect. So the vehicle goes forward, pops smoke here. It did advance straight onto the middle objective. This Rhino down here does the same onto that objective, getting as close as they can. And this Rhino is in support again. All vehicles popping smoke, giving them that defensive capability. The scouts they step forward a little bit, trying to get shots on the Rubriks, and a few of them can see the Exalted Sorcerer. So handful of shots coming his way, and Murder Fang, he advances, and the battle leader just around the corner there, he comes through the door, advances onto the shoulder of that Land Raider. So they're taking up all of the board, occupying the battlefield. The Space Wolves can smell the traitors. Space Wolves going to start shooting. The snipers up top, they've rearranged themselves a little bit. A couple of them can see the Sorcerer, so we've got 2 shots on the Sorcerer. They did move, so they're hitting on 4s. So 1 gets a hit and then needs a 4 to wound. And gets a wound. Right, we are within an inch of that pillar and we are obscured, so we do get the benefit of cover. So we're saving on a 2. That's rolled around the corner, and it's a 4. So we do pass. And then the rest of the squad dedicated their fire to the Rubriks up top here. So we've got 2 sniper rifles. 1 moved, 1 didn't. So 1 hitting on a 3, 1 hitting on a 4.
So 3.
Has hit, and then a 4 has hit also. Right, so 4s to wound the Rubriks up top. 1 wound, but we do save on a 2+. We save. Right, then we've got a missile launcher at the Land Raider, sorry. So it's hitting on a 4 because he did move just to keep coherency. He does hit, needs a 4, gets a 4. It's AP -2. Land Raider's got a 2+ save, so we're saving on a 4, which you don't. It's D6 damage, 3 damage. And that is all for shooting for Space Wolf, since everything went flat out. So he did pull his cards at the start of the turn and got these 3. So he hasn't got behind enemy lines, but what he has got is secure objective 4 and 2. So there's objective 2 just there with that Rhino, and objective 4 is just underneath. That's why that scout moved down. So 2 points picked up for the Space Wolves in their first turn. Thousand Suns, turn 1, we pulled our hand, got our objectives through a bad hand. We've got Assassinate, Psychological Warfare, and Defend Objective 3. So, Assassinate, the characters are not on display fully yet, and Psychological Warfare is pretty hard against the Space Marines, and Defend Objective 3 is here, so we're going to need to hold this for 2, well, into the Space Wolves' turn as well as our turn. But what it would mean is we'd linger there, then Murderfang would just come sweeping in and crush us. So we're just going to play Tzeentchian games with Murderfang. So a step back, we're just going to try and toy him in. And if he wants to come and get us, then that's trickery, and that's straight up straight out of Tzeentchi's playbook. Alright, so the moving phase for the rest of them. For the Zangors, they took a big step to the right here, only went 6. Got big plans for those. The Rubrics get out of the Land Raider and they go that way towards the Rhino. The Land Raider swings back to the right here for a clean line of sight on the Land Raider just underneath there. He was getting cover before, but no longer. It's not 50%. And the rest of the Pink Horrors just crowd up here. The 2 characters go on top with the Changecaster, and there's the Rubrics walking across as well. And then this spawn on the side here, he just carves a wide path just to try and block any Space Wolves coming on from outflank, because this Thousand Suns have scried the fates, they know there's a unit in waiting here. Okay, we're going to start the Psychic phase. Because we're 10 strong with the Pink Horrors, we're going to start with them. We'll have to smite the Rhino because it's the nearest thing. That's the only thing they can do. So it comes off on a 5, but we'll only roll 1 dice. So it doesn't come off. Right, the Changecaster is up next. We will do Gaze of Fate. So that comes off on a 6. So it does come off. We've got Gaze of Fate. So I'm going to put that in the corner. It's basically gives you a tactical reroll or command reroll for your turn, so you can use it at any point. So it's a good way of trying to save command points. Alright, so next up we need to think about this very carefully. We're going to go for the Exalted Sorcerer. He's going to cast Warp Time on the Zangors. So this comes off on a 6. So it does come off. Nothing the Space Wolves can do about that. They've got no characters with any psychic denying capabilities. They do have a stratagem which allows a character to do that, but even if you played it on the battle leader over there, he's well out of range to try and deny that. So the Space Wolves do have some defense, but just not this time. So the Zangors will run forward. Okay, they go forward 6 inches. So just measure, this was the plan all along. We're going to try and crowd that Rhino. This is what happens when you can be aggressive. You can get countered hard with your Rhinos. So they go forward. We've already measured it. It's 6-inch distance, so it's actually a 5 inches charge, but they've got the Musician, so it's a 4-inch charge. Scary, scary stuff for the Space Wolves inside there. So we're going to continue, and for our next trick, we're going to do Infernal Gaze with this Exalted Sorcerer. So, could be worth doing on the Scout, but I think we're going to do it on the Land Raider just to try and shave off some wounds. Try and slow it down at the very least. So it comes off on a 5. So that comes off. So we'll roll 3 dice on a 4+. It's a mortal wound for the Land Raider. So just 1 mortal wound for the Land Raider. Okay, so just had another recheck. It's actually 5 inches to make that charge on the Rhino, just to be clear. Okay, so we're going to move on to Ahriman now. We're going to do Prescience, and we're going to do that on the Land Raider. So this comes off on a 7, but we've got a +1 to the dice, which means it comes off on a 6, which is what we get. So the Land Raider is now +1 to hit, which will ignore the smoke on that Land Raider, so it's back to square one. Ahriman is going to do Temporal Manipulation as well on the Land Raider, try and heal D3 wounds on it. So this comes off on a 6, so it's a 5, but because we're Ahriman we get a +1, which means Temporal Manipulation comes off, so we can try and heal those D3 wounds that we took. And we do, so it's a fresh tank again. Excellent. Ahriman is doing Tzeentchi's work today. Okay, Ahriman's next power, because he can do 3, he's going to do Smite on the Rhino, because that's the only thing he can do there. So it comes off on a 6, because Thousand Suns still, even with the new big FAQ, don't take any penalty to smiting, which is very handy indeed. That's why if you've got some Tzeentchian demons, always start with your Tzeentchian demons when you're smiting. So that comes off. So 3 mortal wounds, or potential mortal wounds on this Rhino, just the 1, we'll take that. Okay, we're going to move over to this squad, and they're going to work together. We're going to put Glamour of Tzeentch onto this squad, which means there would be the -1 to hit. So to get this off, we need a 7, but we'll fail on a 3, so that's no good. We do have an icon in that unit. On a 6, that Rhino will take a mortal wound. It does take a mortal wound. That very, very rarely works. Only works 1 in 6 times if you're lucky. Right, this squad now, we're going to do Tzeentch's Firestorm. Again, this unit has an icon, so we're going to fire that off at the Rhino. On a 6, it's a mortal wound. Nope. So Tzeentch's Firestorm, we're actually going to do that at the Scouts, because they're deep in that cover. If we can just get them out of there, that'll be good. So this comes off on a 7. No, it doesn't come off. Okay, so all of the war power is dissipated for this turn. We're going to have the Land Raider start off the shooting phase. So at the Space Wolf Land Raider, and we are 3 to hit because it's popped smoke and we did cast Prescience. Okay, so there's 3 hits. It's 3 to wound at strength 9. We get 2 wounds. Do we want to use a command point reroll or the Gaze of Fate? I think we're going to just use the Gaze of Fate. Actually no, we'll leave it for the damage roll in case it goes sour. Right, so there's two wounds and he's saving on 5s. Both go through. Right, so now for the damage. Okay, that's just a 3 and a 1. We will use the Gaze of Fate roll on this. It's a full 6. It was totally worth it. So that's 9 wounds put on the Land Raider. Okay, the Land Raider's taken 10 wounds so far. The engine stack is starting to smoke now. It's been slowed down significantly. We've still got the heavy bolters to fire, and we did dedicate the storm bolters at the Scouts, just in range. So the heavy bolters onto the Space Wolf Land Raider. We reroll 1s because of Araman. Okay, because he is within 6. He's just above it there. You can see him. Right, so 5s to wound on this Land Raider. We get 1 wound, and because it's Inferno Bolt, it's AP -2, so you need to save on a 4.
2 hits?
Just the 1. And saves, okay. Okay, Stormbolt the shots at the Scouts there. You can just see him in front of the thing, the metal thing in the distance. Can't remember what it's called. Right, so hitting on 2s because we've got Prescience, and we're not shooting at a target with smoke and effect. So 2 hits, 4s to wound. We get 1 wound, but we're AP -2 because of Inferno Bolt. But Scouts in cover, and they are all in cover, will cancel that. So it's just a straight save of 4. Okay, you lose a single Scout. Okay, we're going to move on to small arms fire now. We're going to have the Rubric squad here. We're going to fire everything at the Scouts up high. We don't like the Scouts because they can target characters, so it's best to get rid of them straight away. But the Exalted Champion is going to fire his plasma pistol down at the Rhino. Of course, he will not be overcharging it. It's too important for that stuff, and it's lucky he didn't. But we do get reroll 1s because of Araman, and he hits and needs a 3 on the Rhino, or a 4, but a 5 will do. Okay, sorry, did I get a 3 there to hit?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hit because he's smoked. Okay, short-term memory needs a lot of work. I just wound it back. Actually got a 6 to hit there, so it still goes forward. The Rhino needs to save on a 6. That's AP -3. And a 2. That's another wound for the Rhino. So we don't want to dedicate all of our fire to, because we don't want to kill it. We actually just want to assault it with the Zangors. So that's a 3rd wound now. It's got 7 left. Okay, so on to the Scouts. Let's do the Soul Reaper Cannon on the end. He's going to hose down those Scouts. We're hitting on 3s, and we'll get all of them. Look at that, what a shot he is. 3s to wound, and there's 3 wounds, so it's AP -3. So with Scouts being in cover, that'll drop by 2, so it's effectively AP -1. So 7 on 5s on 3 Scouts. 3 go down. Right, so there's only 1 more Scout left, I believe, and they're going to have to take some fire from the Infernal Bolters. Okay, just to save time, we fired off the Infernal Bolters. Only got 2 wounds in the end, and it's AP -2, but he's a Scout in cover, so he'll be on his natural 4. If he doesn't get this, it's First Blood. No, does fail it. That's the Scout squad gone, and it's a victory point for First Blood. Good news for the Thousand Suns. Okay, because it's such an important role, that's giving away First Blood. Space Wolf's going to try and command point reroll that, so it needs a 4 to make this happen. It does happen, right, so he's still alive, hasn't coughed up First Blood yet, and with the either 3rd helmet, see if we gain a command point. We don't, right, so that is still out there for the grabs. Okay, we'll start to wind down the firepower on the Thousand Suns now. There's still 1 more squad to shoot, and we've chopped our fire up like this. We're going to have only 2 can see that last remaining Scout now, so we've only got 2 shots coming his direction, so that's where they're going. We're going to have the plasma pistol and 2 of the rubrics fire at the rhino. We don't want to kill it, we just want to hurt it badly. And then the rest of the shots are going to go at the Land Raider, including the Soul Reaper cannon. So let's do it with the Land Raider first. So we're hitting on 4s with the Soul Reaper cannon, and they all hit. 5s to wound. Just 1 wound, it's AP -3, so you need a 5 to save. It's getting closer, we just need 1 more wound, and then it's on its last band of health. So we've got 4 other bolters coming its way. Let's see if we can get that last wound. We get a reroll 1s because of Araman. So we're getting 2 hits. It's actually the Exalted Sorcerer that's giving him that reroll. So we get 2 hits in the end, so we're needing 6s because it's toughness 8, so this is the hard bit. No. Right, so it's not going to be happening on the Land Raider. We've got 2 long shots at the snipers, these are the ones that matter. Both hit, that's a good start. 4s to wound. That's a cocked eye, and 1 of them's a fail so far. Right, that is a wound. It's a 4+ save at AP -2 and in cover. And he gets it. He's going to not give away that first blood. Right, plasma pistol, not overcharged at that rhino, and he's missed anyway. And then we've got 2 rapid fire infernal bolts at the rhino, reroll 1s because of the sorcerer. Okay, there's 4 hits, no sorry, 3 hits because he's popped smoke. 5s to wound, just the 1. Saving on a 5 at AP -2. Okay, that's a 1, that's another wound shaved off that rhino. Right, that's all the shooting we can do. Now we're going to do assault phase. So the Zangors are going to charge the rhino. So you can overwatch with your storm bolter. So that's 4 shots, needing 6s. Every Zangor killed here will be a blessing. No. Alright, so it's a 5-inch charge. We need to get as long as we can because we need to swarm the rhino to stop them from getting out, and that will kill all the squad inside. It's such a dastardly move, but we're chaos, so that's what we'll do. So it's a 5-inch charge because we've got the Bray Horn. That's a fail. We're going to use a command point reroll because we used the Gaze of Fate and not a command point reroll so far to try and make this. We kind of fail this. If we do, our plan is scuppered big time. It's a 5, we just get there, but we're not going to be able to swarm the rhino, I don't think. It's a big sigh of relief for the Space Wolves. Okay, the Zangors have gone in, we've even piled in because there's nothing else to fight. That's as close as we're going to get. We've left little gaps around the rhino because we've got something special planned. Right, we fought with the Zangors because of our way we did it. We fought with a bare minimum. We didn't do any damage to the rhino, which now means we will consolidate into the rhino further. Alright, so they have consolidated in now. So again, there's a thin hairline around the tank which we've not got in close. So this is very technical game in this. So now we will play the Master Stroke. Cycle of Slaughter. Zangors will fight again. So you go through the whole fight phase again, which means you can pile in, fight, and consolidate again. 2 command points to play. We shouldn't have really had to play it, but we've been forced into that now. So what we'll do is we'll pile in and fight again, and then consolidate, and hopefully that'll surround the tank because he can get closer in base to base of that tank now. It's all very technical. Okay, so there we go. The Zangors have piled in once again, and now they are officially within base to base with the rhino because we kept on leaving small increments. So we're in there, very technical, and then we're going to push our luck even further. We're going to blow all of our command points now and use the last command point on Veterans of the Long War to hurt this rhino badly. It's taken 4 wounds already, just need 3 more. With Veterans of the Long War, we will be wounded on 4s against this rhino, and if we kill it, that's the whole squad dead inside because they can't be placed. Big stuff here. So we've got a full Zangor unit of 20, so we're going to get a fight. We've got extra attack as well because we've got Zangor blades. This is the first 20, and got a good amount of hits there, and a good amount of misses. So with Veterans of the Long War in play, we're wounded on 4s. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So there's 5 wounds so far, so we'll just keep a tally. And then we'll do all this again, and then an extra attack because the herd leader, he's got an extra attack. Let's get an extra dice. Here we go. So once again, needing 3s. So many dice, can't fit them in my hand. Here we go. 3s. Okay, just a few misses in there. And now 4s. Come on, Zangors. Okay, there's another 5, 6, 7 to add to the outstanding 5. So there's 12 wounds the Rhino's going to have to save, and it's AP -1 with all those Zangor blades. Okay, 12 wounds to be saved with the Rhino, and they're saving on 4s. There's 6 wounds left, so on average this Rhino should go down. Let's see what the dice say. That looks average.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It is average. That is massive. That is massive. Do the Space Wolves want to spend a command point to save that Rhino and the unit inside?
Looks like we're going to have to.
So it's another command point being used. Haven't used one in this phase. Need a 4, otherwise that Rhino and the squad's gone. He saves. The Rhino lives, got 1 wound remaining, and the squad inside is okay. Right, so that choice reroll has saved not only the contents of the Rhino and the Rhino, it's saved first blood as well. Wow, right, so with that command point reroll, let's see if the Eye of the Third Helm gets that point back. It does, we've regained a command point. Right, and that's the end of the turn. Big moments in that turn, but nothing paid off for the Thousand Suns. No points so far, not a sausage. So the final thing to do is morale check for this scout. The leader's gone because he wanted to keep the missile launcher. Leadership 7, so if he rolls a 4, he's going to run away. He does roll a 4, he's got, and they shall know no fear. He gets another chance to do this. He still fails. Right, so that is first blood in the end. So the Thousand Suns do come away with the victory point, and they get psychological warfare. So there's 2 points just because he ran away. Space Wolves turn 2, so they're feeling on the back foot here, but as bad as it looks maybe offensively, the points should be coming in thick and fast here. So they pulled their cards. They've got area denial, so there's no Thousand Suns unit within the centre, so they're going to get a full D3 for that. And then just didn't get behind enemy lines. They've got 2 units, no, they've got 3 units in the will getters because they've got this battle leader in the deployment zone. They brought on the blood claws here for the 2, and then for the 3rd one this Rhino pulled up right down here, so they actually will get D3 for that. So 2 D3 victory points coming along for them. That's big stuff in this game. Murderfang tried to get it as well. He advanced forward but only rolled a 2, so he didn't quite get there, but he can't charge this turn. He did advance, so the sweat is just coming off the brow of that spawn there. What else happened? Okay, so the Crumbs unit, they got out of the Land Raider. They've moved 6 forward. They're going to find some choice shots and perhaps assault this unit of rubrics. The Land Raider comes forward, comes through the weak bit of the building, and of course we've mentioned the battle leader there. So the Blood Claws, they come on. It's the second turn, so they can do that with the new FAQ. So they've got decisions to make on where they want to charge, or they might just not charge at all, given what's on offer at the end of this charge. So this unit that's still locked in, the Rhino can't get out, the Rhino can't move, they're surrounded by the Zangors, so it's up to this squad who came out of that Rhino before it moved away. They'll try and clear away the Zangors and possibly help from Crom's unit as well, because they need to bail out that extra 10-man squad. It'll be severe if they lose that full squad. But there's a lot on offer now for the Space Wolves. Okay, while we're talking about the tactical objectives as well, I did forget to mention in my turn, in the Thousand Suns turn, I did throw away Assassinate, so it's worth mentioning. So it's on to Space Wolves. They don't have a psychic phase, it's on to shooting. Space Wolves are going to start shooting. This unit at the back, they wish they could fire at the Zangors, but they're going to fire the bolt guns at the Pink Horrors, and then 2 plasma guns up at the Rubrics up top. So the bolt guns first, hitting on 3s. Okay, so 2 misses, and then 3s to wound, because they're only toughness 3. So there's 5 wounds for the Pink Horrors. They've got an invulnerable 4 save. And only 1 dies, but because it's only 1, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that'll stop them doing a full D3 smite. So that they're now just on a mini smite, if you will, on 1d6. So 2 plasma guns now at the Rubrics, not overcharging I've been told, and 2s miss. Alright, Crom's squad is going to fire now. Again, bolters at the Pink Horrors. Some of them are in rapid fire range, some are not. The melter guns, don't dare chance firing at the Rubrics, because I would just take the casualties off the front and extend the charge range. So they're going to be silent with the melter guns. You need to get that charge in future phases. So we've got 12 shots.
I'm going to start with Crom first.
And what's he going to do?
He's going to fire at the Horrors.
Okay. Bolt pistol, gets a hit, needs a 3 to wound. Does wound, okay, save on 4. Failed, right, there's another Pink Horror dead. Due to Crom's fierce eye shot.
2 melters. Do what melters do.
Well, reroll 1s, because
Crom, yeah.
Okay, it's 2 hits, 2s to wound. And there's 2 wounds, 4s to save. And another one dies, vaporized by a melter. So lost 3 Pink Horrors now. And then there's 12 bolt guns to shoot in, or 12 shots in the bolt guns, should we say. Reroll 1s because of Crom, so 2 more to reroll. Okay, so there's 4 misses on C. Right, so 3s to wound because the Pink Horrors are just made of pink jelly. And that is 4 wounds. Save on 4s, invulnerable 4s. So 2 more go down, so slow rate. The Pink Horrors dwindle. Right, the Land Raider is going to fire from the tail end at the Pink Horrors. And we're going to fire the melter gun first. So hitting on a 4, needs a 3. Gets it, saves on a 4. No, another Pink Horror perishes. Right, now we've got the assault cannon, 12 shots, because it's damaged, hitting on 4s. It's just 1 away from its bottom tier, so it's still on middle bracket of death. Reroll 1s because of Crom. And okay, there's a 3 that needs to go, but that's a good amount of hits there. Right, 2s to wound because it's strength 6 against toughness 3. And that's all but 1. So it's 5, 9. Okay, so we've only got 4 Pink Horrors left. Have to roll some 4s here. And we've lost 5. So that's the squad gone. Pink Horrors are removed, vanish back into the warp. Right, last thing to shoot this turn was the Blood Claws. Just tried the chances on this Land Raider. Bolt pistols, got 2 wounds. Could you believe it? Right, so I need to save on 2s on the Land Raider. And we do save. It's always humiliating when you get a wound stripped off your Land Raider by a bolt pistol, but not this time. So it's onto combat or charge phase for the Space Wolves. So this is where it should happen. We've got potential danger everywhere. We've got Crom's unit with a short charge on these Rubrics. We've got this unit here to try and bail out the unit locked in the Rhino. They very well could do it. They've got a stratagem that is absolutely vicious against 1,000 Suns. And this unit could potentially take out the Land Raider. There's a Thunderhammer and their Power Fist. They've got +1 attack on the charge. They've got +1 to hit on the charge. They've got the tools. Do they have the talent? Alright, we've got charges to do then. So Crom's squad and Crom are going to lead the charge here. So it's only a 6-inch charge they need. Let's double check because I've forgotten what they need on the dice. I believe it's only a 6.
There you go.
Yeah, that's just 6 and a bit. So that'll be 6 on the dice they're going to need. And of course, they've got command point rerolls they can use on these 4 charges. It's also worth noting that they did, the 1,000 Suns gained a command point because of the Helm of the Third Eye earlier on, because the Space Wolves used this command point to try and get him in the deployment zone, which earned him potential D3 victory points in the future. So because we played that, earlier on in the turn. It's a different battle round, so that's the only time we can do it according to the new FAQ. So we've picked up a point each battle round here. So we've got 2 command points. So back to the Space Wolves then, because that is worth mentioning, to charge them down. So we're going to overwatch with the rubrics first. So we're going to have the plasma pistol from the aspiring champion, not overcharged of course. Hits, wounds on a 3, gets a wound. No, sorry, what am I talking about? Hit on 6s, he totally fluffs it. Solar Reaper Cannon, I'm wishful thinking. Needs 6s. Rerolls 1s because we've got the Exalted Champion, Exalted Sorcerer up top. So he's hit once with the Solar Reaper Cannon, does wound, and needs a 6 to save. It's AP -3. Do peg 1 on the way in. Good work. Alright, now we've got rapid fire and bolt guns. Have to check if all of them in rapid fire actually. So it's always worth a check. We are within rapid fire range. So 16 shots from Infernal Bolts. I'm going to try and beat these wolves back. Get reroll 1s because we've got the Exalted Sorcerer above us. Within 6. Yeah, so we've got a lot of 6s there. That's really impressive for Overwatch. 6 wounds, 6 hits, sorry. Let's hope we can get 6 wounds. 4s to wound. Could we take the steam out of this attack? Oh, that's pretty good. 4 wounds there. 7 on 5s at AP -2. Let's try and stop these wolves in the tracks. Oh, 3. Alright, there's only 6 left to try and complete this charge, but the charge range is still at 6 on the dice. So here we go. 7, they go in. Alright, that unit goes in. Let's see if Crom joins them. He's going to need a 7-inch charge. They've opened up a channel for him to run down, and he gets in on a 7. It's all happening. Right, the Bloodclaws now are going to charge into the Land Raider because they just came on from over 9 inches away. It's going to be a 9-inch charge for them, but not before. We'll pepper them with some Overwatch. So the Stormbolter on top first. Reroll 1s because of Araman up top. There he is. We got 1 hit. Needs a 4 to wound. We do get a wound, right? So because it's AP -2, do you want to chance this on the Storm Shield? He's got 2 wounds, or do you just want to try and save it on a Blood Claw?
Blood Claw.
Right, so it needs a 5 on a Blood Claw. No, 1 goes down. We'll take the 1 furthest away at the tank. I suppose it'll be him. Right, Heavy Bolters now. Going to try and force you into using that Storm Shield. Oh, look at that. There's another hit, and we do get a real 1s because of Araman. So just 1 hit so far. Needs a 3. No. Heavy Bolter doesn't find the mark, but the las cannons might. Here we go. No hit so far. Reroll 1s. No. Right. No more casualties from them. Can they get that crucial 9-inch charge to get in? It's a 3. No good. Do you want to use a command point reroll?
Command point reroll. Okay,
going to need a 6. This is pretty big stuff. I can't see them using the command point anywhere else for the charge phase. So they need a 6. No, failed the charge. It was an outside chance anyway, but it was well worth doing. We have the Helm of the Third Eye, but we cannot roll for it. Or it wouldn't even matter if we did, because we've already gained a command point in their movement phase, which I told you about earlier. Okay, there's just 1 more squad to charge. That'll be this squad over here. Alright, so we didn't get on film because it's just a simple charge, but they did get the 9 inches that the Bloodclaws should have got, which rolled and then groaned. So they get in all the way around the Zangors. That fight will now commence. Got a fight over here as well. So who's going to be fighting first?
Okay, let's do this one here.
Okay, so it's a big squad. They'll be fighting, and you're gonna use the special super duper stratagem.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be playing for 1 command point. It is absolutely savage. It is the Emperor's Executioners. What it means, it's like Death of the False Emperor, but it triggers on a 4. So on a 4+, you get extra attack to try and hit with, but Space Wolves on the charge, they get a +1 to hit. So effectively, any 3s that they roll, they will gain more attacks to try and hit with. It's absolutely ferocious, and there's a full squad of them, all with chainswords, so this will be messy. Right, we're going to do the big fight here then. So there's 16 chainsword attacks. So hitting on 2s, any 3s are extra attacks. So let's remove the 1s for a start. So a lot of 1s there, 5 1s, it's a shame. And then let's evaluate how many extra attacks they've gained. So these don't gain extra attacks, but with Executioners, Emperor's Executioners, they're going to gain 9 more attacks. So we'll do that at the end. So we'll just resolve these attacks. So those 2 2s there, they're still good because Space Wolves have a +1 to hit. So just keep a track. So there's 9 attacks extra after this. Okay, so wounding on 4s. And that's pretty good so far. So it's 5, 6, 7. 7 to save. I'll just do these already. 6, 7. Right, saving on 5s with the Zangors. That's not a good start. We've lost 6 already. Okay, so the extra 9 attacks need to be resolved. So you need to hit with these first. But again, with Space Wolves on the charge, hitting on 2s. So off to a good start, the Space Wolves. Okay, no miss this time. So wound on 4s. And another decent roll, 5. Okay, 5 to save. Hopefully it's a little bit better this time. Lost the dice. Okay, 3 more. We've lost 9 Zangors in total. I think we're almost at capacity for surrounding the Rhino. There's a few more attacks to make though. There is a Power Axe to try and hit with. Needs a 2. Gets it. And because it's over a 3, he gets another attack to try and make, which he misses with. Okay, so he needs a 3 to wound with the axe. Gets a wound. Don't save, so we've lost another Zangor. Lost 10 now. And then there's the Frostblade from the Frostblade now. He's got 2 attacks from the leader. So there's 2 hits and they're over 3. So you'll try and get an extra 2 hits going here. Needs 2s to hit. Okay, so he ends up with 4 hits in total now. 3s to wound because it's a deadly sword. Okay, 3 to try and save on 5s. Oh, we lost another 3. So that's 13 Zangor. Right, so that's 13 Zangors gone. There's only 7 left, but we're still being able to create a good net around the Rhino. So could still be on, killing the full 10-man squad inside. So let's bow over to the chargers over here. So who will be fighting first?
Right, we'll do Chrome.
Give him the honour to Chrome. Okay, so he's got... he has 5 attacks. And he's hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s with Wormclaw. 2s to hit. It's a good start. And then 3s to wound. Because it's strength 6. Okay, there's 3 solid hits there. Because it's AP -3, we don't get a +1 because of all his dust. So it's AP -2, so we're saving on invulnerable 5s for the rubrics. Which we make 1 and fail 2. So we've lost 2 rubrics. And then it's time to fight with the Grey Hunters. Right, 8 attacks coming at the rubrics with chainsword, so hitting on 2s because they are on the charge for Space Wolves. All hit. 4s to wound. Right, it's 3 wounds. Only damage 1, so we'll get all his dust. So saving on 2s. And of course we roll a 1, but we've saved 2. So we've lost a 3rd rubric Marine. Just put a tally there. And then you've got a Power Fist. And he's got 1 attack because he's not the leader, he's just a luxury in the unit. But he does hit and needs a 2. And he gets it, needs an invulnerable 5 save, which you don't get, so there's a 4th rubric dead. And then you've got a Frost Axe from Frost Sword from the leader. So he's got 2 attacks and he hits on 2s. Gets them both, and then needs 3s. Gets them both as well. So this is AP -1, so we're back on a 3 with all his dust, which we saved both. Right, so we still took a bit of a kicking in that combat. That is the end of Space Wolves fighting, so it's Zangors to fight. We've only got 7 left, so we've got 8 attacks because we've got the leader still with us. And so to help us out here, we're going to play Veterans of the Long War again. So we're down to 1 command point left. Just to help us out on that Rhino, because if it's on its last wound. If we just strip the wound, it means he can't place any of the inside squad, and they'll kill the squad and the Rhino. And it will be the last thing they ever do because they would fail the morale check badly. So here we go. It's all on this for the Zangors. 3s to hit. Right, it's a good start. Only 1 miss in there. Right, because we played Veterans of the Long War, we're wounding on 4s. Please. Oh, Oh, it's just 3. Do we want to use our last command point to try and secure this? It's a 50-50 for us to do it. It's pretty important. Oh, I'm too tempted. We're going to have to do it and see this rhino off. On a 4+, there's another wound for it. Oh, it's a 2. Right, we've spent our last command point. Wasted. So 3 to save on 4s. Otherwise, that's the whole Grey Hunter squad inside.
Yeah.
Oh, only one fails and it's a command reroll to try and do. This is so nerve-wracking. On a 4+, it's all gone pear-shaped.
Oh,
it's a 3.
Oh, no.
Thousand Suns get their way. The squad has perished inside. They can't be placed. We've already done all the checks and balances.
Explodes.
Oh, explodes on a 6. Does not explode, so we'll get our unit after all. Right, major success over there. Let's see if we can get things going on this side. So we will be fighting all of the rubrics onto the Grey Hunter squad. It's going to leave Crom. So basic attacks, and we hit them all, and not only that, we get 3 Death of the False Emperor rolls. So let's see if we can gain more hits, which you get 1, which is not too shabby. 4s to wound, and there's 3 wounds, saving on 3s for those space walls. Okay, we take 1 with us, and then we've got the Sorcerer with his stave. We hit twice, it's unusual. 3s to wound, that is very unusual. 4s to save. Oh, there we go. Back to
normality.
Yeah. So 1 goes down. So just when you thought it was the end of the fight phase, the Space Wolves have played Honour the Chapter, and it's going to be bestowed on who else but Crom. So he's going to lash out again. He's got 5 attacks. He's going to try and take down these rubrics once and for all. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s because he's Crom. He's a special kind of guy. So there's 5 hits, 3s to wound. Oh, it's a bad rap. So only 2, and we save on invulnerable 5s. And he still gets 2, so I suppose that might have been worth 3 command points in the end. We couldn't roll for it, again, because of the new FAQ. With the Helm of the Third Eye, we've already done our maximum return of command points. Alright, that is the end of all the fighting, and we've just calculated what's going on. So we'll just start with the Thousand Suns. So I lost 13 in that unit. If I even roll a 1 on the dice for their morale check, that's 7 casualties going to go away. So that squad's wiped out. Space Wolves get their way. We've lost 6 Rubric Marines here, so we're leadership 8, so we'll want to see a 1 or a 2, and we'll pass. Going to lose 2 more rubrics. We've got initial no fear, so we can re-roll that. And that's even worse. Okay, I've just checked because it was a bit odd. They don't have Death of the False Emperor. Of course they don't have the Chaos. Why would I ever think that? And it turns out it was for the best. So I've lost 2 rubrics in the end. So there's only the Sorcerer and the Soul Reaper cannon left. So technically you should start with the Space Wolves morale checks, but we're 1,000 Suns and more severe there. So these have lost a pretty portion. So they've lost 5 in this round, and they'll be leadership 8. So you don't want to see a 4. So off you go. Morale check for these guys. And they've lost 1, but you can re-roll that because they do have initial no fear. But it's still 4, so they've lost 1 guy. Right, it's time for victory points after the morale check. So there's none for the 1,000 Suns because we're not holding that objective for defend that objective. But Space Wolves have got plenty. So they've already got 2 points. The 1,000 Suns have already got 2 points, but they're going to pull away big time here. They've got D3 for hold the centre ground. What's this? Aerial denial. Okay, so D3 for aerial denial because they're holding the centre. So just the 1 point there.
Do command reroll.
You can't reroll mission rolls. So just the 1 point. And then
Let me try.
the other one is for line breaker. There's 3 units here. There's this Rhino, this Blood Claw squad, and then the cavalry captain.
D3.
So D3. Just the 1. Just 2 points. They could have taken the game right then and there, but they've left it in the lurch. It's been savage so far. Bloody encounters everywhere, and it's all been hanging on certain dice rolling. It's going to be close to the end, we feel it. Right, 1,000 Suns, turn 2. Pulled our cards. We've got still in our hand, defend objective 3. We'll pull secure objective 3, and then priority orders received for objective 1. So the warlord has to go and take objective 1. We're not going to risk it. Ahriman is not going to try and tackle the land raider on his own. Secure objective 3 though is right here, so the spawns moved close. We're not within 6 of Murderfang, because we're not even within 7, because he can heroically intervene even though there's no one around. So he's taken that objective. He's just within 3 inches of the centre, so we'll get a point in this turn. If he stays there for another turn, he'll pick up another 2 command points, but I can see Murderfang just making him into something small and dicey and digestible. So it's on to Psychic Phase, but not before I explain where I've moved. Getting ahead of myself. Right, so these rubrics have pulled out of combat and round the side. The Land Raiders stayed still. The Scarbical Terminators have deployed. It's not really ideal where I wanted to put them, but we're under pressure on this side. We're going to have to just shoot some blood claws down. The Rubric squad here moves across the gantries here. We're going to get some close range shots on the Grey Hunter squad in the middle there. The Spawns move right round. He might try and assault whoever's left. And then we've got the 3 Smite Atias here up at the top. We're going to try and deal with this squad, and hopefully we can get a Crom in time. Okay, we shall start with the Changecaster. He will smite the unit that's closer. So he does. That's 3. Well, D3, sorry, coming their way. It's the big 3. There's only 1 guy left. That is huge. Big start. Okay, now we've got the Exalted Sorcerer. He's going to smite. The nearest is still the Grey Hunter. There's only 1 of the Crom's protection left, so he has been smote. Doesn't matter what I roll. We'll roll it anyway. 2 mortal wounds coming his way. That squad is now finished up. Crom has been revealed to us. So we're going to skip. Oh, he's still got 1 more power to do, but we're going to skip over to Ahriman, because you can do that these days. And he will smite Crom. So we've got +1 to this dice roll. We're hoping it's a super smite. It's not a super smite, but it's still respectable. Right, so D3 smite for Crom. It's the 3. Oh dear. Okay, we're going to skip back over to the Exalted guy now. He's going to do Infernal Gaze at Crom. So that comes off. I wish that was a smite. That would have been pretty outstanding. Right, so any 4s or mortal wounds for Crom? Just the 1. That's his 4th wound. He's got 6, I believe. Alright, what else can we do to him? Right, it's going to have to be Tzeentch's Firestorm, I think. It's going to have to see him off. Going to have to say goodbye to Crom.
He's got 5 wounds.
He's got 5 wounds, he's got 1 left. Alright, well definitely, it's time. In fact, should we just do a normal smite from him? Yes, we're doing a normal smite from him, since it's just 1 wound that we need to shave off. He needs a 5 to pass. He's got it. That's 1 wound smite, mini smite. Crom has fallen. Right, that's a warlock kill. Smite always gets the best of them. Can't count out smite, especially in 1,000 Suns. Right, so over here we're going to do the Icon of Flame down at that unit there. Need a 6 for that to come off. No. And then we're going to do the Glamour of Tzeentch from him onto the Terminators. So they'll be at a -1 to hit. Or to be hit, rather. So it's a fail, doesn't come off. Right, we'll do the Terminators now. I think we'll give ourselves a +1 to save. That is Weaver of Fates. Doesn't come off on a 3, right. Okay, so we'll just get on with shooting then. In fact, no, we've got 1 more power to play. It's Prescience from Ahriman. We're going to do that on this squad here. Give them all the chance to hit. So he gets a +1 to the dice roll, so that's good. And they're now at +1 to hit. We can do 1 more power, and we'll do Diabolic Strength. We'll do that on Ahriman, on himself. So that comes off on an 8. So Ahriman's now +2 strength, +1 attack, just in case. On to the shooting phase. So we're going to have the Scarab Occult Terminator is going to fire all shots into this squad here. So we've got rapid fire, Infernal Bolters going at them. So we're hitting on 3s. Okay, these could have done with Prescience. And then force to win. So 2 wounds, not great. So 7 on 5s unless you want to take it on the Storm Shield.
Take it on the ordinary power armor.
Okay, and you mix it as well. So the power armor's holding up. This is worrying. The Soul Reaper cannon now. Okay, that's 2 hits. 2 wounds. Are you taking that on power armor? So 6s. Right, so 2 more go down. Okay, 2 more shots from the missiles now. Okay, 2 hits and then 3 to wound. There's 2 to wound. So there's 2 wounds. Do you want to take these on your Storm Shield because it's AP -2 with the missiles, but D3 damage? I would advise the Blood Claws because what he's been saving on the Blood Claws because he doesn't want to fall victim with the Storm Shield because he needs them to brace for the Land Raiders damage. And plus, if he survives, we can play the Lone Wolf stratagem. So there's plenty of reasons why you want him to be the lone survivor.
So I need 6s?
5s for the regular guys. So 1 goes down. So the Blood Claws are going, but if you can hold on to the Terminator guy, that's pretty good. So pretty minimal damage from the Terminators there. We'll have to see what the Land Raider can do. Okay, we're going to shoot the Land Raider now. We're going to shoot las cannons through the hole in the wall at the Land Raider. He's got a good cover save, so he'll be saving on 4s against the las cannons. And then all the secondary weapons are going to go at the Blood Claw squad. So we've got the heavy bolters first, and we are within 6 of that guy we've just measured. So reroll 1s, so we get 2 to reroll. Right, and then 3s to wound this squad. All 4 wounds. So who are you taking these on? Because these are AP -2 as well, so 5s to save.
Claws.
On the claws, okay.
5s.
Well, that wasn't too bad. Only 1 goes down. It's getting dangerous now on the morale to try and keep the Terminator alive. We've got the Stormbolter now. Rerolls 1s. So 2 hits and then 4s to wound. Gets 1 wound. Again, AP -2 because of Infernal Bolt. Saves, right, that's a comfortable save. Right, las cannons at the Land Raider through the door. So hitting on 3s. Reroll 1s. That's a full house. And then 3s to wound. Again, that's a full house. But 4s to save because you are in cover. 1 goes through. Ooh, that's all we need to take it down to its last bracket, but can we see it off? 2, not good enough to see it off. Got no command points to reroll that with either. Alright, the Exalted Sorcerer is going to squeeze off a shot at these. Needs a 2 to hit. Gets a hit. It's not overcharge, of course. 3s to wound. We get a wound. Is that going on the Storm Shield or Blue Claw? Right, so 3s on the Storm Shield. Saves comfortably. Okay, right, we're going to tune up the band over here. We've got all these guys going to fire into the centre. We're hitting on 2s of Prescience, rerolling 1s because of Ahriman. It's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. Right, we've just done all our shots. We had Ahriman fire a pistol down, he couldn't wound. Plasma pistol couldn't wound. The bolters chime in, they get 7 wounds, and the Reaper autocannon gets 2. So 7 wounds to save on 5s in the centre. And 3 make it for Perish. And then there's 2 saves of 6 with the Soul Reaper cannon. 1 save, so there's another one dropped. That is the end of the shooting phase, time for charges. So the spawn down here, he's going to charge into this unit. So it's desperate times, desperate measures. Plasma guns will, Plasma guns will overcharge. So the first one,
use your spawn.
Yeah, needs 6s, doesn't get it. Second one needs 6s, doesn't get it and kills himself. Tragic. I would, yeah. So 1, 2, 3 was that guy. 4, 5, 6
I said the
was
one nearest.
Alright, okay. Fair enough. Right, and then there's 2 rapid firing bolt guns, 1's at long range, so 5 shots. 2 hits, 5s to wound. Gets 1 wound, spawn saves on a 5. Oh, saves on the tentacle save. Right, so let's see how far the spawn runs. 7. Alright, Ahriman saw the opening and he's flown down 10 inches as well, so he's joined the fight, so that's going to be a bit of a rumble there. Now the Terminators are going to charge in, but it's not before they're going to take 6 bolt pistol shots in their way. So there's 1 hit, doesn't wound. Okay, Terminators, they need a 9 to get in. Let's use 2 big dice for big Terminators. And it's good, a 10. Use big dice for Terminators and that will happen. In they go. Okay, we're going to allow Ahriman the honour of fighting first. So he has got Diabolic Strength played on him, so he's got +1 attack and +2 strength. So he's hitting on 2s. And he rerolls 1s. So he's got 5 hits. So because he's now strength 8, he wounds on 2s. And there's 4 wounds. And it's AP -1, so he's 7 on 4s. So 1 dies, but it's 3 damage, so he's killed 3 times over. Okay, we've got more fights over here. We're going to go into the Terminator. So we've got 2 strikes from the Sorcerer with his stave. Gets 2 hits. 3's to wound, gets 1 wound. So who are you going to take this on, the Terminator or a Blood Claw? I would suggest a Blood Claw, because it's D3 damage.
Okay.
Okay, 1 Blood Claw, gets his head stoved in. And then we've got two attacks each. We've got 8 attacks with the Power Core Peshers. Here we go then. 3's to hit. And any 6s are good, but we don't get any 6s unfortunately. So no death to the False Emperor. And they're wounded on 4s with Power Swords. There's 2 wounds. Do you want to take these on your Storm Shield? Mm-hmm. Okay, so 2 saves of 3 required. Makes them both efficient. Right, we've got the Spawn to fight now. The last thing to fight who charged. So he's going to fight obviously the Grey Hunter squad. He's got random D3 first. So it's a 2 on the chart, and I'm going to have to check out what that is. Okay, so a 2 on the chart is Grasping Pseudopod. So those tentacles are not just for show. So he's got an extra 2 attacks in addition to his random D6 attacks. So he's going to end up with 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. And he's missed them all. What a dipstick. Right, fight backs for the Space Wolves. Going to start with these 3 Grey Hunters over here. They're going to fight the Spawn. And because they were charged this turn, they get a +1 to the dice roll as if they're charged. So, pretty good. So, Frost Sword, 2 attacks, hitting on 2s against the Spawn. Both hit. 4's to wound because it's +1 strength. 2 fails, that sounded like. Right, Chainsword, 2 attacks. Hitting on 2s, gets them both. 1 wound, needs to save on a 5, the Spawn. Gets it on a 6, lovely. Power Axe, 1 attack, hitting on a 2. Gets it, needs a 4, no. Right, we're going to move on down to here. So it's the same situation with the Blood Claws. They get +1 to hit because they've been charged. So you're starting with the Chainswords.
Chainswords.
4 attacks, hitting on 2s, that's bad. And then 4 to wound. Doesn't wound. Right, we've got a Power Fist here. So he's got 2 attacks because he is the Blood Claw leader. So he's +1 to hit because he's been charged, and that's 2 hits because he's a -1 with the Power Fist. Lots of rules explaining, and 2 wounds in the end. Feels like I'm doing a whatchamacallit with a talk fast and sell things. Can't remember the name. Okay, right, so 2 saves on 5s because it's damage D3. And it's a double 6. These big dice produce sheer gold. Yeah. An auctioneer, there's the word, right? We've got Thunderhammer guy. He's got 2 attacks. He's the champion, so let's see him do well. He's hitting on 3s. He gets 1 hit.
Command reroll on.
Command reroll, okay. So he does hit in the end. Let's see if we steal that with the Helm of the Third Eye, because we haven't done it this battle round. Nope. So 2's to wound. Gets 2 wounds. Right. Let's see if these big dice can produce 2 5s again. No, they've run out of steam. So D3 damage each, or 3 damage each. There's 2 Scarabacol Terminators dropped to the floor. Sad scene. Alright, so morale check time. No morale checks for the Terminators because even if we rolled a 6 we'd pass. Blood Claws, they've lost 5 this round and they'll be leadership 8 with the Wolf Guard leader. So that is 9. Going to lose 1. You can re-roll that with and they shall know no fear. Okay, so they pass and they stay strong in that combat. It might have been a bad idea going in with these Terminators. Over here, this unit lost 7 out of their 10, so they're leadership 8. And they pass as well.
Good at ones.
Pretty nice. Right, that is the end of the second turn. End of the second battle round. So the Thousand Suns score 1 victory point here for securing this objective. We do have to defend this objective, so more than likely we'll get killed by Murder Fang in the next turn, so there's no way that's going to happen. We're going to throw away priority orders received because Araman it's not really, don't want to commit it to the centre of the table really, and that's going to leave us on 4 victory points. How many do the Space Wolves have?
How many have we got total?
Yeah.
4.
So it's 4-4. Close game. It's very, very bloody. It's Space Wolves turn 3. Things are getting desperate. Units are starting to get depleted to a worrying state. Alright, so the combat over here, these Grey Hunters peeled off and they've went to rescue this objective. It's imperative that they take this one, because the cards that the Space Wolf pulled is Defend Objective 2, which is right there, Secure Objective 2, it's the same objective, so that's potentially worth 3 points if they can stay alive, definitely 1 point at the end of this turn if they can stay alive, and Secure Objective 6, so it's up there. It's not looking good to get that one, so that one's off, but that one's potentially 3 victory points on the line there. And over here, Murderfang moves in on this spawn, so he's well below his station, but if he kills him, that's going to deny the Thousand Suns 2 points at the end of this turn, because Thousand Suns have secure objective 3, so Murderfang slicing and dicing this spawn is good work from him. That'll stop Thousand Suns getting any more points in. So the Wolfguard Battle Leader, he moves 8. He's got a 7 on the dice charge to make against this unit here. The Terminators and the Terminator and Bloodclaw's still locked in this combat here. They've got the power to kill these Rubric Marines, Terminators. They've shown it already. This Rhino, sneaky moves, drove around the back here, and it's going to assault the Land Raider. So it's going to try and lock down this Land Raider from shooting for a turn or so. Alright, so that's everything set up for the Space Wolves. The Land Raider, because it's in such a damaged state for the Space Wolves, the Redeemer, can only move 3 now. And he's basically electing to stay put on that objective in the middle. So there's loads of Thousand Suns in the way to get to the characters, so he says he's going to attack the spawn. So let's see how he gets on in the shooting. Right, the Land Raider at the tail end is going to fire at the spawn next to Araman. So the multi-melter's firing off first. He needs a 5 to hit because he's so damaged. Misses. Right now there's 12 shots from the assault cannons, again needing 5s. It's possible it could kill the spawn, but it's going to be a hard task. So here we go, 5s. Okay, that's went everywhere, so I can see 3 hits.
There's one over there as well.
Just one?
Yeah, underneath it.
Okay, a couple of hits there then. 5 hits so far, it's pretty good. And then wounding on 3, he's got strength 6. There's 3 wounds, right. Spawn have a save of 5.
No, 4.
That's 4 wounds, sorry. But I'm saving on 5s with -1, so 6s for the spawn. Okay, fills them all. Spawn goes down in a heap of tentacles and chaos mess. Right, Murderfang is going to try and scorch this spawn. So he's heavy flamer. He's going to get 1. Needs a 4 to hurt him.
No.
No, it's a 2. Right, he's got a stone bolter at close range, so he's got 4 shots. And he hits with 3. Needs 5s to wound. Doesn't get any. He's going to have to do it in combat. He was just bluffing. A few warning shots over the head of the spawn. Alright, and the last shooting to do is 3 pistols in combat here. So 4's the hit with the Bloodclaws. 1 hit. Needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Okay, it's going to have to get done in combat. Now the charge phase, the Rhinos going in against the Land Raider. We'll get a reroll 1s because we're within 6 of the Exalted Sorcerer, that end track there. So 6 to hit this Rhino with the las cannons. We get 1 hit. 3's to wound. We get a wound, right? He needs to save on a 6. Doesn't save, so it's d6 damage. It's just a 1. Alright, 9 more wounds to go. Alright, we've got heavy bolters and the Inferno combi bolt. Let's see how we'll get on. We did fire off these 2 guns, no damage on the Rhino, too hard to hit. Over here, Murderfang makes an easy charge, couldn't fail it, so in he goes. Now there is a longer charge here. The Battle Leader on the Thunderwolf is going to try and get in on the rubrics here. So we're going to overwatch with the Soul Reaper Cannon, and we get 1 hit. We get 1 wound because he's toughness 5, so he needs to save on a Storm Shield, takes a wound. Nice. And then we've got a Plasma Pistol. Do we dare overwatch it on full blast? No, we're just going to try and hit him on a 6 with a regular shot. No. Right, so let's see if he gets the 7 on the dice that's required. He does. It's efficient. It's a 7, so in he goes, galloping along on his Thunderwolf. He's going to catch these Thousand Suns sleeping. Alright, so the final thing to do, since it is the charge phase, and this has been confirmed, you can do it in the FAQ, so we will do it. We're going to heroically intervene with Araman and try and kill these Grey Hunters before they get that objective. It's probably not going to happen, but got every chance to do that. Right, we're going to start the fight phase. Over here we're going to have Murderfang with 7 attacks on the charge, hitting on 2s against the spawn. And he's hit all but 2. And he needs 2s to wound because he's mega strength. And he gets a reroll failed wound rolls. And still 4. 4 will do it because I think it's flat 3 damage. Even if it was just 1 damage, that's the spawn totally mutilated by Murderfang. So there's the spawn. Both spawn are now dead, stopping the Thousand Suns from getting that 2 victory points for that objective. So Murderfang does a job in the end. And we're coming over here now. So more charges. So we've got this combat to do.
Consolidate.
Okay, so it's the battle leader of the fight now. He's charged, so he's got +1 to hit with his Thunder Hammer. So he's hitting on 2s. With 3 attacks, but he's got an extra attack because of the Wolfenstone. So 4 attacks hitting on 2s. Makes them all, and then he's wounded on 2s, and because he's a battle leader, rerolls 1s to wound. And he's going to need it. So reroll. Right, all of them. That's what we expected from the Wolfguard battle leader. He's a menace. So we're saving on 5s against these, which we don't do. So he cracks them over the head with a Thunder Hammer. Now they are truly dust and sludge with the aspiring sorcerer.
Consolidate 3.
Right, so he consolidated 3. And then the Rhino was next to fight. Didn't do anything against the Land Raider, which you can expect. But it's on to this fight now. So we're going to have the Terminator fight first. He's got 2 attacks. And because they're not on the charge this time, he's going to be hitting on 4s with his Thunder Hammer. He's got 1 hit. Needs a 2 to wound. Does wound, right. We need an invulnerable save of 5. Oh no, we've lost another Terminator. This is scary stuff now. Who do we want to take? I think we'll take the Soul Reaper cannon. Right, we've got a Power Fist Blood Claw leader now. He's got 2 attacks and he's hitting on 4s as well with a Power Fist. He's got 1 hit, 2 to wound. Oh, he does wound as well. We need an invulnerable 5 to crop up, please. Yes, we'll make it. And then we've got 2 chainsword attacks, so we've got 4 attacks in total. Hitting on 3s, get 2, needing 4s. Get 1, saving on 2. All his dust and Terminator armor. Okay, so we've passed there. Right, so we're not going to fight back over here. We're going to go straight over to Araman to fight these Grey Hunters because we have the advantage there. Right, here comes Araman. He's got 5 attacks because we still have his Psychic Power for Diabolic Strength on him. So he's got an extra attack and +2 strength. So he's hitting on 2s for 5 attacks. We really want 6s. And we get reroll 1s because he's Araman. Oh, come on. We're hoping for lots of Death to the False Emperors there. We didn't get any. Okay, 2s to wound. Oh, 1 escapes. So it's AP -1. So 3 attacks, 7 on 4s. If even one of them survives here, he's going to claim that point for that objective. We've killed 2. It's a good start. 2 go down. Do you want a command point reroll one of them just to try and cheer yourself up, or are you okay with losing 2?
It's a morale thing, isn't it?
I think you'll be okay because you'll be leadership 8 because the Wolfguard leader, or the Pack leader, is still in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 2 go down then. The Pack leader to fight back now. So we just had a quick check. If you are heroically intervened on by the enemy, you don't get the +1 to hit, which is the only time that you wouldn't. So here he goes. He's hitting on 3s with 2 attacks with a Frost Sword. He gets 2 hits and he needs 3s to wound, and he gets them both. So 7 on 3s, and Araman makes them both. And I've just remembered Araman can attack with his disc, which I forgot about the last time. It's easily forgotten about because it's so pitiful because it's only strength 4. So he's hitting on a 2, he gets a 6, which is a Death to the False Emperor, so the disc spins around and catches him again, hopefully. It does. It's base strength 4, so I can't bump it up with the Diabolic Strength, so we'll just wound him on 4s, but this could kill him. It very well may kill him with the disc attack, so it needs to save on 3s and he gets them both. Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Right, Thousand Suns attack back here, so we've got the Power Sword going first. And he's hit twice and 2 Death to the False Emperors. That's exactly what we need when we haven't got enough strength there. Alright, 4s to wound. We only get 1. So who's going to take this? The Storm Shield guy or a Blood Claw? Who do you fancy?
-1 4 to save on Blood Claws.
It's Power Sword's -3. So you're saving on 6 on a Blood Claw, 3 on a Storm Shield.
Do it on Storm Shield.
Okay, Storm Shield at the rescue, as you can expect. And he takes a wound.
Oh, command reroll.
Okay, command point reroll. Let's see what he gets. It's a 3, it's a pass in the end. Right, so do we get that point? Because we've still got the Helm of the Third Eye, and it's a new battle round with the new FAQ. We don't generate one. Okay, so we're going to do the staff now, and he's hitting on 3s, and he only gets 1 hit. Needs a 3 to wound, and he wounds. Right, it's AP -1, but I'm going to have to refer to the rules again. Because he took a save on the Terminator, you have to keep on allocating wounds to the model until he's dead. Alright, so he's happy with that, but it might be different, but that's where we're going to play. So, invulnerable 3 to save. Makes it anyway, so it's a moot point. Okay, I just have to flick through the rules there, just because it's interesting. You don't have to continue to take wounds on models, it's only if you actually sustain any damage. So, because he saved on the shield, the first time from him, since he attacked, he could put a different wound on a different model, so you can bounce your saves around as long as you don't actually sustain any damage. It's worth getting right. Ending the fight phase, we had the Land Raider attack the Rhino back, but nothing happened. So that is the end of the turn for the Space Wolves. So they score 1 point for holding that objective back there. They lost 2 guys, but it's not enough to fail a morale check on. The Rubrics only lost 1 here. Again, it's not enough for them to take a morale check on either. So just 1 point for the Space Wolves that turn, but that set them up for a further 2 points if they can just keep that guy alive. It's an extremely hard ask for him. So we'll see, keep an eye on that. But the Space Wolves did block the Thousand Suns getting 2 victory points for Murderfang killing that spawn over here. So it's on to Thousand Suns, turn 3. They've got enough units to try and do something here, but it's about getting them in the right places. There's a blunder over here with the Terminators. It's all going to be how we can get our psychic powers working once again. Okay, we've done some movement with the Thousand Suns, being carefully considered. Doesn't look like much has moved very far, but each move we make is crucial here. So Ahriman, although he's the most powerful, he's just going to have to stay there because he's the only one who can kill that Grey Hunter because he's slightly offside to the Rubrics. But we also need to take that objective now. It was one of the cards that we just pulled. So Ahriman is really the only one who's going to be able to do that without question. So he's going to take him out, and horribly, and take that objective. Over here we've got the 2 sorcerers. We're going to need to cast our smite on this guy. If we don't kill him, we're looking troubling times there. We've got the Rubrics, they've moved down. Probably going to get some shots on the Rhino and then assault it just to shut it down so it doesn't get our Land Raider again. He's such a big problem. We've moved the Land Raider out of this combat and away 6 inches because the Space Wolves can heroically intervene 6 inches. So we're just trying to get away from him and any potential damage he might do to the Land Raider. The Land Raider needs to be able to fire next turn. And these, we thought about dropping them back and letting the Rubrics have a go at the squad, the Blood Claws, and try and kill them that way, but there's no guarantee it would happen. So we're going to try and just go another round in this combat. It's dangerous stuff. That's what we're going to have to do. Alright, we're going to start the psychic phase. So the Changecaster will be the first to smite the battle leader. And it fails. Right, this is a disaster. It's disaster time. The Exalted Champion, he's going to fire at the battle leader with smite. Come on, please. Right, that does pass on a 6. So D3 mortal wounds on his head. Be it, it's only a single wound. Right, this is gone from bad to worse. Battle leaders have 6 wounds, and we've only done 2 wounds to him so far in this game. Right, we're going to have to go for Gaze of Fate, I believe it's called. Infernal Gaze, sorry. That doesn't pass either. Right, it is a fully fledged disaster now. Right, the Rubric Marines, Icon of Flame on a 6. This Rhino will take a wound, a mortal wound. No, that's a 2. And then we're going to cast the -1 psychic power to be hit onto the Terminators. This needs to work this time. That does come off. Right, so the Terminators are a -1 to be hit, and the Terminators will cast the +1 to their invulnerable save because we need it at this point. We need to stay in that combat and alive. So on a 7, that comes. Does it come off? Yes, because it's warp charge 6. Right, so -1 to be hit now, and we've got a +1 to our invulnerable save. So we should dare we say, be okay in that combat. Okay, after much and R, and after that big failure of smiting the Wolf Guard leader, we've done this. So Ahriman puts prescience onto the Scarab Terminators down here, giving them a +1 to hit, and then we cast smite onto the last remaining Wolf Guard guy there, and he's been smote on a 10, so he's now truly dead, and that's freed that objective. So we're going to get a point for that and block the Space Wolves getting 2 points themselves. So Ahriman's getting that objective over there. It's not where we really wanted him to be, and he's still alive, so we might have to sacrifice someone to just tie him up in combat, and these don't dare come down to assault the Rhino in case they get charged by him. So we're just going to have to see how it all plays out, and hopefully these can hang in there. Right, I've moved into the shooting phase now, so the rubrics that I could see have fired at the Rhino chipped 2 wounds off it, so it's still 7 more to go on that Rhino. And then the only thing we can fire now is this plasma pistol at this Wolfguard battle leader. I'm so scared I dare not overcharge it. He's got 2 wounds, even if we overcharged it, it still wouldn't kill him. I really don't know. No, we're not going to overcharge it, because if we die, that'll lose one of our most important guys who we've got left on the table. So we've hit with a non-overcharged shot, 3 to wound, and we've failed to wound anyway. Alright, so that is it for shooting. Nothing more we can do. Ahriman hasn't got the range with these Infernal Pistol to shoot anything. So it's straight on to combat. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge the Change Caster into the Wolfguard battle leader. We need a 5 to get down and an extra 1 to breach his combat bubble. So we need a 6 on the dice to get in there. And he can't throw a grenade because it's actually just over 6. So he is in. He's got an invulnerable force save, and that's what we're counting on to make it through these Thunderhammer hits. Ooh, it's dangerous. Right, thought about it long and hard. We're going to commit the Exalted Sorcerer to the fight. We don't trust the Changecaster to survive that, and if he doesn't, then that's going to free up the battle leader to go and kill Ahriman, because he'll move 8 and just smash him with a Thunderhammer probably, or the Land Raider, both of which we don't want to do. So here we go. He needs a 6 as well to try and get in. So he's in on a big old charge there. So he goes in. I'm very nervous about this, but we'll have to do it for Prospero. Alright, then we'll finish off the charge phase with just a drop down 5-inch charge straight onto the Rhino within an inch there. So didn't get all the squad in, but we've locked the Rhino down. That's the important part, or this is the important part really. So we're gonna fight. We'll see what happens. We're gonna fight with the Exalted Sorcerer first. He's got 4 attacks and he's hitting on 2s against the battle leader there. Right, we've got all 4 hits, and that's a 6. So that's Death of the False Emperor, which we get the attack again with. Okay, it's looking decent so far, dare we say. Strength 6, so it's 3s to wound. That's pretty good. There's 4 wounds, saving on invulnerable 3s. Oh no, he's done it. All save. All save. Right, the Changecaster, he can't possibly kill him. Actually, we've got a disc attack to hit with. We do hit. Strength 4, we do wound, so we need to save on a 3 again. But this is a disaster now. Oh, he fails against the disc. Alright, so he's got 3 wounds left, and the Changecaster's only got 2 attacks. And he's hit with them both, luckily. He's Strength 4, so we need 5s to wound, which you don't get either. Right, oh dear. And then we'll now attack with the other charging unit, which will be the rubrics. Okay, we attack the Rhino, only 1 wound on the Rhino. So we're going to move on to ongoing fights. So the Terminators will fight first here, and we do have ourselves buffed to the gills here. So we've got Prescience, which gives us +1 to hit, which means Death of the False Emperor triggers on a 5+. So the staff's going to fight first. So we do get Death of the False Emperor. And yep, there's 3 hits, so wounding on 3s. Oh, it's been terrible this last turn for dice rolling. Only 1 wound. Are you going to take that on your Storm Shield, or are you going to take it on a Blood Claw? Because it's D3 damage, because it's a force save. So this could kill your Terminator outright.
Yeah. What's its AP?
It's AP 1, so it'll be saving on 4 for a Blood Claw, 3 for a Terminator.
It's a Blood Claw.
Okay, Blood Claw to save then. And he does finally kill someone, so it'll just be a chainsword guy, I bet. Alright, the last guy with the power sword to attack, hitting on 2s because he's got prescience and Death of the False Emperor. Okay, he's hit them all because of Death of False Emperor. Right, 4s to wound. Gets 2 wounds, so Storm Shield.
Indeed.
Okay, 7 on 3s. So Terminator finally takes a wound. Only 1 more to go. Right, so that is it for the Thousand Suns for fighting. It's over to the Space Wolves. Right, so he's gonna start with the Bloodclaw unit first. So the Terminator's gonna fight first. He's at a -1 to hit because he's got a Thunder Hammer, and he's at a -1 to hit because of Glamour of Zinch. So he's got 2 attacks and he's hitting on 5s. He's hit once. That's not what we wanted to see. Right, wounds on a 2. And he can re-roll that 1 because he's within 6 inches of the battle leader. So this is just really painful now. Just get it right. We do have Weaver of Fates on that Terminator squad, so we've got an invulnerable 4 save. Can we make an invulnerable save? No, we can't. That's a 1, so we've lost another Terminator. This is such a painful couple of turns now. We've got a Power Fist. He's got 2 attacks and he's hitting on 5s because he's the pack leader. And he gets a hit. This is just devastating. 2s to wound. And it does wound on a 6, so it's the Sorcerer. He needs to save on a 4, which he doesn't get. So D3 damage, anything but a 1 kills the Sorcerer, so 3 damage. Alright, we're going to move over to this combat here. Because we're charged the battle leader, he's at a +1 to hit, so he's going to be back to hitting on 2s with his Thunder Hammer. 4 attacks with the Thunder Hammer, and they're all going at the Sorcerer, and then is the Wolf.
The Wolf's going to attack the pink guy.
The Changecaster, okay. So Thunder Hammer, 4 attacks. This will probably be the death of this Exalted Sorcerer. So 4 clean blows there, 2s to wound, and reroll 1s because he's a battle leader. Okay, 3 blows find the mark, and 8 save on 5s. And nope, there's 9 damage, so the Exalted Sorcerer has been killed. Alright, so 3 attacks from the Wolf on the Changecaster. Doesn't get to reroll 1s because it's not the hit. He's not a wolf. What's his name? Wolf Lord, and doesn't wound either. So the Changecaster still does a job, but we've lost terribly here. We've lost a really important guy here, and the Terminators, they were just woeful. Twice the cost, even more than twice the cost of this unit, I think. Just couldn't get it done. So this unit goes on strong. They've got Thunderhammer, Power Fist still in the game to attack this Land Raider with, which is exactly what we didn't want to happen. Alright, so I did score 1 point for Araman being on that objective over there. And we're going to throw away the card that we pulled, which is Domination. So we've been doing terribly on the cards as well. We're just getting 1 point here and there. We've still got Defend Objective 3, which we wanted to throw away, which is what Murderfang has. So we've still got a dud card in our hand. It's looking bad for the Thousand Suns now. We've got the Space Wolves closing in, and they look hungry. Okay, Space Wolves turn 4 now. It's getting very, very desperate. It's going to be the revenge of the Land Raider. It's the only thing that can shoot. There's been a few bits of shuffling going on. Murderfang, the most expensive objective grabber, still is going to continue his backfield ways. He's just making himself equidistant between all 3 objective markers around him, just in case anything comes up. For objectives to pull, secure objective 6 has still been in the hand, so there it is there. So that one's off the cards this time. Objective 4 is over there. The Land Raider is not fast enough because it's on its last tier. It can only move 3, so it's not going to get there in time. And they've got Kingslayer, so they're going to try and kill Araman with the Land Raider because he is the closest. And there's a multi-melter fire and double assault cannon, so he could just kill Araman here. So it's assault cannons first, hitting on 5s because he's so damaged, and 12 shots to do it with. Okay, 2 hits, and then wounds on 3s against Armor. So both fail. So I mean that was just one thing, but this is the most dangerous part. He's got a multi-melter firing at Armament, so needs a 5, and he misses. No command points left for either side to reroll these crucial dice with. So Armament gets away with it. That was really, really close there. And so there's no more shooting. He hasn't got a pistol, and these could fire 2. Well, you could throw a crack grenade at the Land Raider if you want in a pistol. Oh yes, they're now revealed because the rhinos peeled off. They're now revealed, so they can be shot at with pistols and a crack grenade if you like.
Okay.
So crack grenade has hit because it's blood claw, and wounds. So it's AP -1 and D3 damage. So we'll be saving on 4s with our armor save. Of course, we fail. So there's another rubric dead. We'll take him from the front. Might as well. Okay, and then a pistol shot on 4. Okay, misses. Alright, so they'll be now charging, and are they still gonna do multi-charge on the Land Raider and the Rubric squad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Land Raider, we're going to do the Heavy Bolters first. Actually, let's do the Storm Bolter first. Hit on 6s, no. The Heavy Bolters now. Aha, we got 2 hits, 3s to wound. 1 wound, and it has to be on the Terminator because he's already taken a wound now, so I need to save an invulnerable 3, which of course he makes, and then last cannon shots. We get 3 hits. It's the last stand of the Land Raiders, and there's 3 wounds, so you have to do 1 at a time. So 1 on the Storm Shield, dies, and then 2 on the Blood Claws, and they die. So the Land Raider puts up a final defense and kills that Blood Claw squad that the Terminators couldn't. Okay, so the Rubric Marines didn't even need to turn the fire onto that squad, so that's a major turn in the game, in a game that's already twisting and turning. Because the Rhino pulled out, that means that unit's free to fire now. They were just sure that that squad would have made it in. So, it's turned again. Right, so the Battle Leader, he's going to be fighting the Change Caster, so I'm sure he'll take this Fury out on this Demon. So 4 Thunderhammer blows, only 2 hit.
He's not reroll.
They don't reroll because he's not a Wolf Lord, he's a Battle Leader. So he wounds on 2, and he can reroll this time because he rerolls 1s to wound, like a Lieutenant. Still fails. Have the Space Wolves lost their flair now? So invulnerable 4 save. We make it, finally. And then 3 attacks from the Wolf, hits on 2s, gets them all, and wounds on 3s. But he can reroll 1s because he's a Lieutenant equivalent. So we got 2 1s there. So just 1 wound, saves on a 4, which you don't make. So the Change Caster, he's actually got 4 wounds on his profile. So if just one of those Thunderhammer blows hit, that would have been him dead. But now locked in a very interesting battle there. Right, we've got this hero Change Caster to fight back. He's got his Ritual Dagger and he's got 2 attacks, and he's missed with both. Okay, so that is the end of the fight phase, and that is the end of the turn. So any points there for the Space Wolves?
No.
They didn't get Slay the Warlord, that was really close, and then all of a sudden it's totally changed the game over here. Right, Thousand Suns turn 4, and it's turned out to be a very stressful game indeed. So we've pulled our cards. We've still got that pesky Defend Objective 3, which we're going to throw away at the end of this turn. We've also got Ritual Slaughter. It's a special Thousand Suns one. You have to kill 9 models, but the Space Wolves don't have 9 models. We just can't get any luck when we're drawing tactical objectives, so we can't do that one either. And we've got Secure Objective 4, which is over there. So what we've had to do is Araman's had to come over here and advance all the way over to Objective number 4 there. He's also claiming Line Breaker. But the unfortunate thing is he's now going to have to take some more beatings from the Land Raider if we don't destroy it. So it's only got 3 wounds left, the Land Raider. He's only got 3 wounds left. And this Rhino could be the difference. This has got 6 wounds left, so we're getting the Rubric squad to try and tackle this. Land Raider is going to keep its options open after the psychic phase. The change caster's moved back, so this is really crucial. We need to block points from being scored for line breaker, get some points ourselves, and that'll put us in front because both sides are on 5 points each. It's so close. Right, so we're going to move on to the psychic phase. So first of all, we're going to have the icon of flame go off on a 6 against this rhino. It doesn't happen. Alright, the change caster, he's going to smite the battle leader. Hopefully. Yes, he does. So 3 potentially mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds. He's got 1 wound left now, the battle leader. 1 wound left, and our troubles are over with him. Okay, he can't do any more psychic powers, you can only do 1. So Ahriman, he's now going to smite the Land Raider. It comes off on a double 6. It's a Perils of the Warp, which is pretty terrible, but it's a super smite. Oh, right, so we'll need at least a 3 to just destroy this Land Raider. It's only got 3 wounds left. Come on, Ahriman. Get that warp going. Oh, it's disappeared, and I can't see. It's a 1. Ah! I just can't catch a break. It's got 2 wounds left, the Land Raider. Oh, man. Just die. And then Ahriman is going to take D3 mortal wounds for being messing around with the warp, so he takes a single wound himself. So what we'll do, for our second psychic power, we'll do temporal manipulation to try and heal that wound on ourselves, which we will, because it's D3, we'll heal 1 wound. So we're back to fresh after that Perils of the Warp, but we've got to kill the Land Raider. Okay, desperate times, desperate measures. We're moving on to the shooting phase. We're going to have the Land Raider, las cannons at the Land Raider, and then heavy bolter and the top gun at the battle leader. So let's start on the battle leader with the combi bolter on top first. So we get 2 hits, 5s to wound. No, alright. Starting to get worried now. Heavy bolters at the battle leader. Right, we've got 4 hits. Need 3s. Please. Nothing. This is terrible. This is so terrible. Las cannons now at the Land Raider. 3s. Get 2 hits. This is nerve-wracking business. 3s to wound. We get 1 wound. Because he's more than 50%, he's going to get a save of 4+ against this last cannon shot. And he makes it. My heart sinks. Okay, we're coming back to the psychic phase just a second. I forgot to smite with the leader at this rhino because of the stress of Ahriman. Okay, so that comes off. It's just 1 mortal wound on the rhino. They just do mini smites to the rubrics. So 5 more wounds to go on this rhino, but we're going to have to shoot everything at the battle leader just to see him off before we leave to combat. So the plasma pistol is within range. Pillar's bending the thing. Okay, he is in range of the plasma pistol. He's only got 1 wound left, so we're not going to bother overcharging it. So all guns at this guy. Plasma pistol does hit. Needs a 3. Gets a wound, right? 3 invulnerable. Ah. Now we've got the Reaper autocannon. Only gets 1 hit. Doesn't wound. I've got a screen. Okay, 5 infernal bolters. Sorry, no, we've got 7 infernal bolters, but only 5 can rapid fire at the battle leader. This is taxing. Okay, decent amount of hits this time, but here's the hard part. We're needing 5s to wound. We've only got 1 wound, and there's 1 safety mandate on an invulnerable 3 save. And he fails it finally, and no command points to re-roll. We've finally seen the death of him go away. Right. Okay. That's lowered the stress levels a bit. Alright, that is the end of the shooting phase. So Ahriman can only stay where he is, tangle him with that Land Raider once again. 2 wounds left on that Land Raider. This is horrible stuff. Right, so we're going to now do assault. We're going to have the rubrics move in on this rhino. It's only got 5 wounds left. If we kill it, that'll stop line breaker. So there's a Hurricane Bolter to overwatch with, 4 dice. And it's not Hurricane Bolter, it's a Storm Bolter.
Storm Bolter, yeah.
So the rubrics will assault in 8 inches, so they're going to get all over that rhino. Right, so crowd round the Rhino, don't do any damage, just totally miss with most of the attacks, and the staff misses as well, and then at insult to injury, the Rhino runs over a Rubric Marine and will fail our save on a 2+. So we've locked the Rhino in, no morale checks to take there. So that is the end of the turn. So we've got Araman, he's claimed that objective 4 in the distance. Also, if he lingers there, that's line breaker as well. But of course the Space Wolves have their own line breaker in that Rhino. So again, as it stands, we're both the Thousand Suns have pulled away by 1 point here, and both cancelling each other out for line breaker. If Araman can hold on for another turn, the Thousand Suns might win by a point, but we're going to have to see what cards the Space Wolves generate on the next turn. Okay, turn 5 for the Space Wolves. It's very desperate. They pulled the tactical objectives. They still need to secure objective 6, and then they pulled another one for secure objective 6. So this is objective 6. It's been the bane of the Space Wolves' lives here. And secure objective 4, which is in front of Araman, under there. So the Land Raider have been reduced to only 3-inch speed. It's just not going to get there, and it can't get to Araman to use its Flamestone cannons either. But it still could fire at Araman to stop line breaker. And do you still have Kingslayer? Okay, so we're over here for the only significant part of the Space Wolves turn, but it is the most significant point of the game. You've still got Kingslayer, so if it kills Araman, it's going to stop Thousand Suns getting line breaker. It's also going to give him Slay the Warlord and Kingslayer. So there's loads of points up for grabs here, and it very well could do it. So assault cannon, 12 shots, hitting on 5. So there's a lot of hits there. That is devastating to see. Absolutely devastating. That's over half. No, it is half. And then 3's to wound on Araman. It's not looking good. 3 wounds. 3 wounds to save on invulnerable 3s. Araman saves all. Only 1, sorry. I've lost my mind now. So 2 wounds on Araman, not a good start, because now we'll have to deal with a multi-melter shot straight off our brow.
One's up for a 5.
So we need a 5 with a multi-melter, and heart stays beating fast. So Araman survives the multi-melter shot, but he's taken 2 wounds. And to finish off this 5th turn for the Space Wolves, had the fights here. So the Rhino didn't kill anyone. Thousand Suns didn't put any wounds on the Rhino either. Stalemate in the corner. Turn 5 for the Thousand Suns. So could this be the last turn? Who knows? So we'll pull 2 cards. We've still got Ritual Slaughter, which we can't do, but we'll have to throw away a different card last turn. So we've still got that one in our hand. We've got Defend Objective 4, which is the one Araman is on in the background, but we'll not claim that unless the game goes on for another turn. But we did pull this big one. It's Vengeance Long Awaited. So it's a victory point if you destroy a unit, but if it was an Imperium unit, it's D3 victory points. So all we need to do is just kill this Land Raider. It's on its last 2 wounds, and we've got 2 guys who can dish out some smite there. Or could kill this Rhino, because we've peeled off the combat from these Rubric Marines have stepped off. It's going to allow the las cannons to have a go at the Rhino as well. We weren't doing anything in combat. In fact, we were losing combat against the Rhino. But we'll just hope that we'll get it done over here as well. Okay, the Psychic phase is upon us. We're going to do the Change Caster. He's going to do Smite. And it comes off. So, how many Smite? If it's a 2, the Land Raider's gone. It is a 2, that's a 3, which is a 2 on a D3. The Land Raider is destroyed. That's going to be D3 victory points. Shall I just roll for it now? Okay, so this is the victory points for that Land Raider going down. 2 victory points. Lovely. That might just put us in a safe place. Right, we're going to finish the Psychic phase. We did Araman. Well, we didn't do anything. Don't want to risk a perils on Araman. He's already taken 2 wounds, and he doesn't look like he's going to come under any threat, since the only thing left on the battlefield is Murderfang and this Rhino. So speaking of this Rhino, we didn't get our Icon of Flame, but we did smite it with a mini smite from the Aspirant Champion. So now we're going to have the Land Raider just try and blow it away. It's got 4 wounds left. Even if we did destroy it, it's not going to block Line Breaker for the Space Wolves, because Murderfang is just within 12, but we can't target him because he's a character, so not until we deal with this Rhino. So 4 last cannon shots at the Rhino, we get 3 hits. 3s to wound, we get 2 wounds, so save on 6s for that Rhino. 1 save, 1 goes through, so d6 damage. If it's a 4, it's not. I can't get higher than a 1, it seems. Okay, so 3 more wounds to go. It's possible that we could kill it with heavy boulders. So let's see if we can. Not with a dice roll like that. 5s to wound. 1 wound, and you're saving on 5s. So that is another wound that slips through. So 2 left to go on the Rhino. And could we do it with the Stone Boulder on top now? So we get 2 hits. 5s to wound. We get 1 wound, saving on a 5 because they are upgraded to Inferno Bolts. So the Rhino is on its last wound. Couldn't quite see it off. But I think we're in a safe place now. Right, we're at the end of turn 5 now. Crucial times. Does the game end? Continues on a 3 and it finishes on a 2. Okay, so that is big stuff. The game finally ends. It's just as well for the Space Wolves. Like we say, we've only got Murderfang left and this Rhino, so they've definitely secured Linebreaker, but they've got 6 victory points. But the Thousand Suns have been able to gain 9 now with that last card in play. So 9 and the game ends. I think that's a sign. That is the number of Tzeentch. It went backwards and forwards, kicking and screaming. Finally got the 9. Ooh, many times in that game could have went either way. And basically, the Thousand Suns did not move from this corner. Thousand Suns had the Space Wolves had all of the battlefield and pretty much all of the objectives, and it ultimately came down to these two. The Space Wolves needed this one a lot, and it just didn't happen for them.
Yeah, I think after turn 2 had a little bit of a resurgence with the Space Wolves, but it kind of faded away, didn't it?
Yeah, so I mean that's possibly one of the most back and forth games we've played in 8th edition. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed that. We're all going to have a lie down now.